So we're going to go from the local to the global, and I want to ask Khaldoun Al Agha to come up and describe for us what work he's doing, not just at the University of Paris, but also in a private company that you can learn more about if you receive this small booklet. It tells you a little bit about the work that he's doing in technology development, including in a startup company. But his strategy, of course, is to focus on less about the city and the enterprises that surround the city. In this case, we heard about the agricultural enterprises, and more about the citizen in the city. So,
okay, thank you very much, Gordon. So, good afternoon. I'm going to talk about on the citizen-centric cities. So this is a kind of model that we are developing in the KIC ICT labs. So what's the KIC? What's that big animal? So the KIC is belong to an agency. The European Commission was creating this agency, so what we call the European Institute of Technology, EIT. It's a kind of distributed MIT, if I have to take reference from US. So we have many people from education, research, and innovation working everywhere in Europe. So they work in what we call the co-location centers. In that KIC, we work in action lines. So one of the action lines is digital cities. So I'm leading this action line, and we are developing this new model of citizen-centric. So that citizen-centric, it means if you are in a... It's okay for you.
Just you can step away from the table.
Right, you.
It's feedback from the table.
Okay, thank you. So that model is something that many, not only municipalities, also you have governments, administration bodies, everywhere, for example, want to involve the citizen in collecting the data, for example, in giving the citizen the means to have actions in the city. So how we could use the ICT tools in order to improve, in order to give the opportunity to those citizens to collaborate more and more with the administration. And so I will use also the word of our ambassador. I'm also entrepreneur, so I was creating a company. It's called Green Communication. So this company is producing products for communication networks, and we have some application for digital cities. So this is the partners of the KIC. The number of partners is going to grow and grow. So we are going to add one more node, which is London next year, and then also the Spain is going to integrate the KIC. And also the partners, EDF, for example, is going to join the KIC very soon. We have also EDS, Thales, and if you feel concerned by the KIC, so you could submit for an activity, and then if the activity is granted, so you become partner of that KIC. So the way of working with the KIC, so you come to the KIC with a career project. You have a career project, something in education or research, and then you need a catalyst. This catalyst is going to bring the results of your career project to innovation. And then the KIC could grant that catalyst and give you 25% of the budget. And with the catalyst, so you work for innovation, and you could provide applications, or you could create companies, startup, etc., by the means of that KIC. So as I told you, we have co-location centers. So in each node of the KIC, you have an area that people could meet, could talk, could exchange, and we have rooms, facilities for ICT in order to work between co-location centers. So in smart cities today, you have different approach. So I was classify those approaches in two categories. So you have the top-down models. It means you have the mayor, for example, of municipality, of people from the administration. They decide, for example, to introduce the ICTs in their cities, and then they ask for example, large company or other kind of means. I put the example of Rio de Janeiro, where IBM, for example, is going to deploy many services in order to that Rio becomes smart city. And you have the other approach, so citizens themselves. So I was participating, for example, in in a conference called Republica in Berlin. So you have thousands of people. They meet there, and those people are more like independent bloggers, journalists, etc. And they wanted to create something in the opposite direction. So they don't want that, for example, the administration give the money for a large company, for example, or to create a smart city. They want to go from the bottom to the up. So we decided to be in between because we have large companies in the KIC, we have students, we have also SMEs, so we have also researchers. So we decided to be in between, like a hybrid model. So this hybrid model is really to involve everybody, so municipalities, but also citizens. We are working on different topics, and my concern for now is really to find a business model. So I was asking some question one question in the previous session. So how to find the business model in order that the citizen, for example, become a smart citizen is using the ICTs. Because if I ask you a question, how many applications you download on your smartphone, so probably the response will be between 50 and 100. And if I then ask you another question is, how many applications you are really using every day, so your answer will be something like between 5 and 10, right? So today we develop very simple applications because it's easy today to collect, for example, data. To develop an application, a student could do it. But in the future, we need more complex application. I mean, we need to really offer something rich. So in that case, we need to push SMEs, for example, to develop application. And in that, we need to find a business model in order that they could make profits. Otherwise, they are not going to come. And then after developing those applications, so how we could push all the citizens to be engaged, to use that application. This is our concern. So if you need to submit something and if you need to work with us, so please don't hesitate. And so we started working in 2011. We test many activities, and then we focus more on open data and services. And now we are creating something more complete. I mean, so our objective, our goal is really to increase, as I told you, the part of the citizen in the city. So we are going to like a more democratic process, putting the ICT as a service for the citizen in order to, or also for the municipalities in order to increase the communication between those two sides. So we work on different topics. We start from the infrastructure. So if you want that your city becomes smart, so you need an infrastructure. You need sensors. You need connectivity, and you cannot. I mean, for the cities are going to grow more and more, and we have megapole. So we need to have huge networks, and those networks cannot work in a centralized way. So you need distributed management of the network. You need that all the devices own a kind of intelligence in order to communicate between each other. And then if you remove a device, if you put a device, so the network is going to continue. After having the infrastructure, so you will collect data. So the data, I mean, you heard about open data, massive data, big data, etc., etc. So more you have data, more it's difficult to manage that data. It's like a denial of service. I mean, if you receive data, and then what you do with the data, how you could find the correct information in that data. I could give you the example of digital cameras. So today you have digital cameras. You go everywhere, and then you take pictures, thousands, and then you put them on your hard disk, and you never look to them. I mean, so it's better to throw your camera and then to put everything in your memory and to make profit from your trip. So we need very sophisticated algorithms, for example, tools to manage that data. And then we could create application and services on that data. So the application should be very nice to use and very efficient, etc., etc. So we also are going to create a kind of crowdsourcing platforms in order to share the knowledge between the citizens. If you have a problem, so you put it in the platform, and then people, they have solution, they will give it to you. So I will give you an application that I will give you an application, for example, that we did in 2011. It's about open networks. So I have to recall what's the open data, open network, etc. So you have the raw data in a raw form. And then you have nice application in order to offer some services according to those data. So if you look to the connection today, a network connection is only, I have internet or not. I have a connection, Wi-Fi, 3G, 4G, etc., and then you are happy, you continue to work. If you go more on that connection, we give you, for example, some information, some data on the network. It could be the topology, it could be the number of users, it could be the energy consumption of the access point. If you have these information, then you could create some application. So those applications, it could be, okay, I'm connected to that access point, so I'm the citizen. I want to improve my connectivity. I see the topology, and I could go from that access point to that access point, and I could have a better bit rate. I could also see that I am the lone guy connected to that access point. If I move to the other one, so this access point can be turned off. And in that way, I could save energy, and then it's better for my city. So this is a way, for example, to engage a citizen. It's like a game. It's like some kind of responsibility for the citizen to be engaged also in the network. I mean, and also to improve the quality of the life in his city. So an open network also could be, for example, that a network shared with different entities today. Today you have network for people, you have a dedicated network for example, safety units, you have a network for employees. If you open the network so everybody could share the information, so citizens could, for example, report on the events. If you have a fire, so the safety could also make benefits from that information that the citizen gives to those units, and also the units could give information to the citizen through that network. Now, this is an example that we developed. So here, for example, you have the topology of the network, and you are connected. So the gray point is your connection. So you could, for example, see that you are connected to that access point. You have all the quality of the links. So, for example, if you have a highway of bit per second, or if you have a narrow road of bit per second, so that then you decide if you have, for example, like a map behind your topology. You could see that it's only a walking distance of a few minutes to go from that access point to that access point. And in that case, for example, this access point, you are alone behind the access point. If you move to another one, so this one is going to be turned off and save your energy. And so this is my conclusion. So in the future, we will have like digital cities like that one. So today we are talking on maybe carbon emission. In the future, we probably talk on bit emission. So we are going to complain about the 0, 1 that we see everywhere. So thank you very much.